Hey, thanks for supporting our show, Checking In, a Lodging DEI Chat, hosted by me, Miranda Kitterlin-Lynch, and my co-host, Leon Thomas. Guests on our show come on to talk about a wide variety of DEI topics, and we enjoy lively discussion. One of our signature questions posed to each guest is, what advice would you give to your 20-year-old self? We've compiled some of the responses into the third installment of Checking In with Your 20-Year-Old Self. Enjoy.
I think advocate for yourself. Because that's something that I did not do when I was coming up. I was there in the sales office as the only Black person like in management at all. And I did not advocate for myself. I was just happy to be there. I didn't want to, make any waves or ruffle feathers, But I should have said, hey, well, how do I get to this job? I should have asked the question, how do I get to this? Or how do I, what's the path to get to X, Y, and Z? You know what I mean? I was just happy to be there. And so I just did my job, sold what I needed to sell, brought the clients in, and did not, like I said, advocate for myself or ask those questions so that I could advance. And I've learned since then, you have to do that in order to move up.
That is
or lateral or whatever. So that's what I would tell my 20-year. And also make sure you contribute to the 401k.
Yes, two very solid pieces of advice.
I didn't do that right away either.
Yeah.
I love this question. This is my favorite one. And it's my favorite one because I believe that it's really important for us all to reflect. I think that's a big part of how we grow. I tell my 21-year-old self today about self-care, to be honest with you, which is not the answer I would have given when I was working. The answer I would have given a year ago was that everything is going to be okay. I think that struggling with insecurities and other things, if I had known at 21 that I would find love and be loved, that I would be a good mom, that I would have not one, but two amazing careers, that I would have my health, that I would find financial security, the things that, everybody worries, and not maybe everybody doesn't, I think everybody worries about. It would have been great to know at 21 that I would be okay. And so I could just really focus on being present and figuring things out in that way rather than worrying so much about what the future was going to hold.
Some of the relationships, I wish I would maybe built on them a little more, maybe. I've run into a lot of people along the way, and some of those people, I think I probably could have done a better job building a relationship with them. Now, I think, thank God, now with social media, it has helped because I've been able to reconnect with people. But, other than that, I'm the journey that I've taken and what I've done, I don't regret any of it at all. I have no regrets. I've done internships at Disney World. I mean, I've worked at, St. Jude. I've had a lot of varied opportunity and met a lot of people along the way. But if I could to go back, I was like, man, I wish I would have maybe forged a strong relationship with a couple of people.
A no is not necessarily a bad thing, and it's not permanent. So if you it's important to put yourself out there, and it's important to apply for that job. And instead of looking at it as I only meet 3 of the 10 criteria, look at it as an opportunity for growth. And to say, I can now grow into this role. If you meet 9 of 10 criteria for a job, then you're not really growing into it. You're already qualified for it. You're already doing that job, basically, or you have all the skill set, and there's not room for growth. But if you apply for it and you get a no, follow up, and there will be other opportunities that present themselves. It's not a knock on you. This wasn't the right opportunity at the right time, and that's okay. But it shouldn't, your self-worth should not be tied up in that penultimate yes or no answer. There will be other opportunities, and go for those as well. And don't be afraid to go for that stretch job, because then that will allow you to grow into the role. So
learn to invest now. I mean, financially, because some, like, you know, growing up, you know, single Cuban mom, that's not something we talked about in our family, you know, and I didn't have access to people who talked about that and who taught me the way, you know. So people can follow their dreams often because they have a financial lifeline and backing. So if I were to talk to my 20-year-old self, you know, I'm grateful for everything that's been through and stuff, but there are just some things that we really aren't talking to our kids about when they're young, and then it puts them in really difficult situations as they get older, and force them into sticking with jobs that they're not passionate about, and sticking them in safe places that they can't really get out of, and that's a shame, you know. So
I guess I would have to say, make more mistakes, and don't be worried about failure, and just keep plugging away, and always bet on yourself. That's what I would say.